everybody, so today I am here to give you a collective natural disposable diaper review. So there's a few things that I want to mention before I get started with this video. Firstly, I bought all of these diapers, a month's supply for each to be specific, with my own money, and like I said, I used them for a month straight so I could have like a good chunk of time to really base my opinions off of. I also want to mention that, you know, these are natural diapers. However, if you're looking for like a foolproof natural option, I would definitely recommend cloth diapers. I personally have never cloth diapered, but if you wanted something that was really great for the environment and you know exactly what your diapers are made of, cloth is a really good way to go because you can choose all organic stuff, and you know, it's just a very natural option if you're looking for like the best of the best option. However, some of us prefer disposables, and that's the reason why I put this review together. I know with Sophie, right off the bat, I knew that I wanted to have a more natural diaper, and after talking to her endocrinologist that she had when she was an infant, he really stressed the importance of more natural ingredients and things and staying away from fragrances and different chemicals, especially when it is in their reproductive region. So for that reason, I've always kind of steered towards the natural diapers, and I've kept with them. You know, I don't have judgment towards other people who use different brands. I'm just putting this out there because I've never seen like a collective review. Over the years, there's been more and more options out there. I definitely did not get them all, which I wanted to say that I do plan on doing a part 2. You can leave in the comments whatever diapers you would like to see me try next. I will say you need to be patient with that review because this did take me a long time to try these, and obviously it is also costly, so just keep that in mind. If you're an expecting mom or you're looking into switching over to natural diapers, I did want to give you a heads up. Most of these diapers are kind of harder to find in store. If you're looking for something that's easily accessible when you're just out running errands, the natural diapers are not going to be the easiest to come by, although I feel like they are definitely starting to get more popular, so we might see that change over the next few years. And typically they are more expensive than other brands, so I just want to throw that out there for anybody who's looking at these as an alternative to what they're using now or what they want to start off with, just to kind of be upfront and honest. And then lastly, before I get started with the review, I wanted to mention a couple tidbits about the diapers themselves and about my review. First and foremost, all of these diapers are unscented, and also they have double gussets, meaning that there is a gusset right here that is near the core, and then there's also a gusset out here that lies on their leg, so it just has like a double protection to keep any kind of explosion from coming out, but every single one of the diapers has that. I'm also only going to mention the top materials used. Some of these diaper companies release all the ingredients, other ones don't. And for that reason, because there is a lot of different things that go into the diapers and what different companies have chose to disclose or not share, for that reason, I'm just going to focus on the main ones. And I also wanted to let you know that if any of these are colored or have any prints, I found that every single one of them said that they use lead-free pigments or dyes. So when it comes to my review points, I had 10 different ones. I had price, availability, absorbency, texture, that includes softness, materials used, eco benefits, fit, diaper tabs and security, durability, and if I would buy them again. Okay, so I had to do a little bit of adjusting, but I have 10 different brands here. I'm going to have the timestamps for each individual tidbit of review down in the description box in case you just want to jump to a certain one. And also at the end of the video, I'll give you different situations for whatever diaper I would recommend. And then I'm also going to give you just my general recommendation and what I use to this date. So in the order of that I'm going to be reviewing them, I have Earth's Best, I have Honest Company, Babyganics, 7th Generation, Parasol, Bambo Nature, this is the old version, Pandy, Naty, Bambo Nature, the newer version, and then lastly, Aiden Anais. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I can never pronounce their swaddle blankets, and now I can't pronounce their diapers, but you know what I'm trying to say. So like I said, first and foremost, we're going to start off with Earth's Best. So this is what the Earth's Best diaper looks like up front. These are all white no matter what size you get. This is the only thing that it is offered in, so that's what it looks like as a whole. When it comes to price, I took the largest count of diapers that each brand had, and I just divided that by the price and the count, and then I gave you a cent per diaper. Because every brand has different sizes and amounts and prices, I figured if I gave you the price per diaper, you could compare that to what you're getting now or compare each other. So the price for a value size box is $37. It is 23 cents to 52 cents a diaper. You're also going to see a range in price because I went from the smallest size that they have to the largest, and as you increase in size, they do tend to increase in price. As for the availability of these diapers, it is mostly online. I know Target and Babies R Us, which Babies R Us is now going out of business, did carry them in store for a while, but they've been mainly moved online. As for the absorbencies, these are really good. I've only had leaking issues if I need to go up in a size, but they have a pretty thick core, so I've found that their absorbency is pretty good. As for the texture, I feel like it's also pretty good. It's not too rough, it's not too soft, it's like right in the middle. As for the materials used, they say that they are chlorine, latex, dye, and perfume free, and they use a corn and wheat starch for absorbency. As for the eco benefits, they say that they're environmentally friendly, but I don't really know how because they don't specify how they are, other than they're naturally derived ingredients. However, I think they could do more to be a little bit more eco-friendly. Number 7 is fit, and I feel like these fit really well until my girls got to be toddler age, and then I found they didn't fit super well. They weren't wide enough, and I feel like if you have a very long and skinny baby, these will fit very well. I feel like they are a pretty narrow diaper, but all around until they got into toddler age, they fit very good. As for the diaper tabs and security, what I meant is basically like when you undo the tabs and you fasten them, how secure is the actual diaper? And with this brand, they've been good, never gave me any trouble. Number 9 is durability, and these hold up really well even if they're wet or they have poop in them. No problem, they hold up, no sagging or anything like that. And lastly, would I buy them again? Absolutely I would. Next up is Honest Company. This is just the print I have. If you know anything about Honest Company, they have a ton of different prints. They have more boy prints, they have gender neutral, they've got everything. So this is what the inside of it looks like, but that is a general look of the Honest Company diaper. The price of these for the largest box you can find, which I've found on Amazon, is $56. It is between 35 cents to 64 cents a diaper. As for availability, they do have the smaller boxes in store, Target, Babies R Us, Bye Bye Baby, places like that. However, I found that you can find bigger and bulkier options in places like Amazon. I have heard that Costco is now selling a larger box, but I don't have a Costco around me. I'm not sure how much that costs either. Number 3 is absorbency. These work really good. Again, they are thicker in the core, and I have never had any leaking issues. Even if I feel like the girls could move up in a size, still haven't had any leaking. As for the texture, the outside is softer than the inside. I feel like the inside is like in between rough and soft. It's not really doing anything either way. As for the materials, they are chlorine, latex, dye, and perfume free. They use plant-derived sustainable materials for the absorbency pulp. As for the eco benefits, they claim that their diaper is mostly made of biodegradable products. However, it's not entirely made of that. They're hoping with further advancements that they can eventually be a fully biodegradable diaper, but for right now, it's just mostly one. As for the fit of the diaper, they do fit really well. Even to toddler age, I felt like they fit Sophie really well. And as for the diaper tabs and security, these again gave me no issue whatsoever. And as for durability, again, these hold up really well. I don't have any sagging or ripping or tearing or even pilling on the outside. They do hold up really good. And then lastly, if I would buy them again, yes, I would. Next up is Babyganics, and these are what they look like. Again, these are all white no matter what size or whatever you want. This is the only option available. So this is what the inside looks like. So there you go. There's the Babyganics diaper. The price of these is $26. They range between 29 cents to 52 cents a diaper. The availability, it's in some stores. Again, I mostly saw it at Babies R Us, however, going out of business. I do see them occasionally at Target, but not always. So I would venture to say they're mostly online, but we might start seeing them in more Targets. As for the absorbency, these are really good. They're really thick. I've never had a single leaking issue with the Babyganics. As for the texture of this diaper, it is a little rough in my opinion, and it is also pretty stiff. As for the materials used, they say it is chlorine, latex, petroleum-based lotion, and perfume-free. They have their own Neo Nourish seed blend oil, which I took a picture of what they said it was. They said it is tomato, sunflower, cranberry, black cumin, and raspberry seed oils. So apparently that's in the diapers. And then it is also made up of a plant-based material wood pulp in the core. As for eco benefits, they don't list anything. They don't claim to be eco-friendly on their packaging or anything, and I've never found that anything outside of their kind of naturally derived ingredients that they're eco-friendly. As for the fit, they fit really well even into toddler years. And as for the diaper tabs and security, they work really well, never had any issues. The durability, again, hold up really well, never had any issues. And as for if I would buy them again, I would. Next up is the 7th generation diaper. This is what most look like. They do vary, like they have different woodland creature prints depending on what size, but they do fluctuate a little bit. So this is what the inside of the Babyganics looks like. So with this diaper, the price is $29 a box. It ranges in price between 29 cents to 49 cents a diaper. As for availability, again, I've just mainly seen them in Target and at Babies R Us, so they are online quite a bit though. As for absorbency, I feel like they're kind of good. I have had some blowout issues, never really urine, it was just mainly poop. I would just get it leaking out of the leg area, so I'm not sure if that was really like a fit issue. We did try different sizes, really couldn't get it to do much, and it was always like hit or miss. I felt like we'd go through a period of them being fine, and then we'd run into like a week or so of having constant issues. Not really sure what it's about. I do feel like the core is a little bit thin. As for the texture of the diaper, the outside is really soft, the inside is kind of soft, I would say. As for the materials used, they are chlorine, lotion, dye, and fragrance free, and the core is made up of a sustainable wood pulp. As for the eco benefits, they don't really concentrate on that. It's never really mentioned even on their packaging, but it does mention if you search for it that their contribution to the sustainable forest that they do harvest the wood pulp from. As for the fit, these fit very well even into the toddler years. The diaper tabs and security never gave me an issue. As for the durability, that's the biggest flaw I think this diaper has. It doesn't hold up very well if you have a toddler. As for babies, I never really had a problem with this. I used these a lot when Remy was a newborn, but with the girls being toddlers, it didn't ever really work out well, especially if they were just in a diaper. The inside, the lining of it would get pulled away, it would get bunched up, it would rip. Not necessarily away from the diaper, just the lining on the inside would just get all wonky and gross. It would get lumpy, and again, if they pee, it's not really going to be where it needs to be to absorb it, so I feel like it could definitely be better. And as for if I would buy them again, in the baby sizes I would, because like I said, I didn't really have a problem with the durability there. The leaking issues weren't so much during the baby sizes either, they were more towards the toddler. So that kind of leads me to the fact that if I needed a toddler size, I wouldn't buy the 7th generation. So next is Parasol, and this is what they look like. They also have a couple different prints. This is just the one that I chose. I think there might have been a couple different prints just in the package as well. So that is what the entire diaper looks like. As for price, it is $71 for a box. They are between 27 cents and 57 cents a diaper. As for availability, I'm almost completely certain that it's entirely online. I haven't seen them in any stores. And as for absorbency, I have had some leaking issues even when I had the correct size and I felt like it was a good fit, and it was mostly urine. I feel like the core is on the thinner side, and as for texture, these diapers are super soft. I wouldn't say the softest out of what I've tried, but definitely up there. As for materials used, they say they are chlorine, latex, lotion, and perfume free, and their core is made up of a sustainable wood pulp. As for the eco benefits, they never even mention this. It's not something they talk about. They honestly focus more about their prints and like the artistic designs that they have around them. And as for the fit, they're good fits. I've never had any issues, no complaints. Diaper tabs and security, again, haven't had a problems. As for the durability, I was really hoping to like these, but again, this was a huge issue. They just didn't hold up well with toddlers and moving. Again, I had that same instance where the core was just kind of bunching up and ripping away from itself, and it would just be all lumpy and weird even if the girls hadn't peed in them. And also, if Remy took a nap or if it was overnight and her diaper would be soaked, it was like wet on the outside as well as the inside. And I mean, that was kind of gross. So for that reason, would I buy them again? No, I wouldn't. We are officially halfway through, and that leads us to the Bambo Nature, the old version. So this is what they would look like no matter what size or anything you got. This is what the inside looks like. So yeah, again, Bambo Nature, the old version. They are $68 a box. They are between 40 cents and 59 cents a diaper. I think these are also, again, mostly online. I've never seen them in stores. As for the absorbency, these are really great. I've never had any leaking issues whatsoever, and the lining is very thick. The texture is super great. It's very soft, even on the inside. As for the materials used, they say they are chlorine, latex, dye, lotion, and perfume free. I'm not sure what they use in their core absorbency, but I do know that they do talk about a lot of their ingredients being naturally derived. So I would say that they probably are using either plant-based stuff in their core or wood pulp like a lot of the others. As for the eco benefits, they do claim to be eco-friendly, and I would just take it as a guess of their naturally derived ingredients. As for the fit, these fit super well. The diaper tabs and security, those work well. And when it comes to durability, these are absolutely amazing. I feel like you're getting the softness, you're getting the durability. I don't have any of that funkiness where it's like pulling away from each other whatsoever. Just a really great diaper all in all, so I would definitely buy that again. Next up is Pandy. So this is what it looks like. Again, no matter what size you get, this is exactly the diaper you're going to receive. And I will say that there's only 2 diapers in this whole lot that have the wetness indicator, this being one of them. The Pandy costs $37 a box. They're between 39 to 54 cents a diaper. As for availability, again, I'm pretty sure that they are entirely online, and I think they might even be like exclusive to Amazon, but I'm not 100%. As for the absorbency of these, they are really good. They have a very thick core, which I like, and I did have some leaking issues, but that's going to come into the fit play here in a second. As for the texture of these are super soft. I would say by far and away the softest out of all these diapers that I've ever tried. As for the materials used, they say they are chlorine, latex, and perfume free, and I believe the core is 100% bamboo fiber. I'm not sure if I read that correctly, but I think that's what they were trying to imply. As for the eco benefits, they really focus on the fact that their ingredients are naturally derived and their bamboo is sourced sustainably. And then as for fit, these run a little large, which I think is where the leaking issues were happening from, because when I tried to size down, we didn't have that issue anymore. So just be aware that they run a little bit large for whatever size they say they're going to fit. And then as for the diaper tabs and security, great, no problem. And then for the durability, they hold up really well. Like I said, they have that thickness, so I never had an issue. And if I would buy them again, yes, I would. Next up is the Naty diaper. This is what it looks like. I'm just gonna wait for the lighting to adjust. It has little leaves on it, and I do believe this is the print no matter what size you get. That's what the inside looks like. And you can't really see it, but I did want to mention that the security up here is a little like plasticky looking, even though I don't think it is, but it does have like a little bit of stickiness on the tab. So when you're securing it, it's not really like almost Velcro, it's more of like a sticky adherence. As for the Naty diapers, they are $40 a box. They are between 38 cents to 64 cents per diaper. The availability, I do believe, again, these are mostly online. As for absorbency, they are pretty good, but they are on the thinner side. As for the texture, the inside is much softer than the outside. You might have been able to hear that the outside does have like a funny texture to it. It's not bad necessarily, but it just feels a little bit different. But the inside, like I said, is a lot softer than the outside is. As for materials used, they are chlorine, latex, dye, GMO, and perfume free, and they do use corn and wheat starches for absorbency, and they are mostly biodegradable. As for eco benefits, I think this is the company that focuses the most on this. They do spend a lot of time talking about their naturally derived ingredients and that the diaper is almost entirely made of biodegradable materials and stuff like that, and it also does come in recyclable packaging. As for the fit, they fit really well. The diaper tabs and security, I felt like they were not as great as others. Again, like I said, it was more of like a sticker adherence more than it was like Velcro, and I felt like sometimes I just couldn't get it good enough. And again, with like that stickiness, if you play with it too much, then it's not going to be as sticky. So I felt like it was kind of hit or miss with it. And as for the durability, these didn't hold up well in the seams. I didn't have much of a problem with this because it is decently thick. It's definitely not the thickest, but I didn't really have a problem with that. I had a problem with right here, right on the sides, the seams would rip away and we would have chunks of diaper all over the floor. And as if I would buy them again, I'm kind of on the fence. I do like their concepts, I like what the diaper is made of, and I like a lot of different things about it, and it executes pretty well except for ripping in the seams. So if they somehow fix that, I would buy them again, but as of right now, I would skip on them. Next to last is the new Bambo Nature. Now this is the second diaper that has the wetness indicator. This again is what you're gonna get no matter what size you order of this, and this is what the inside looks like. And I'm just gonna hold up the other ones so you can kind of see them side by side and with comparison. So this is the old version, this is the new version. This is the difference of the inside. I know you guys probably can't really see much, but I'm gonna try holding them and see if you can at all, but just kind of want to give you guys an opportunity to see the diapers side by side. But about these new diapers, I did want to mention not a lot changed between the two. I'm going to mention the areas that did change, but honestly, it wasn't a whole lot. So things like materials and stuff like that, it really didn't change. But as for the price, they are $69 a box. They are between 41 to 53 cents a diaper. The absorbency, these are not so great. I had leaking issues despite it feeling like a good fit, and I think it's just because the inside, the core, is a lot thinner. I did have that problem of the core just ripping away from itself, it getting bunchy and weird and just not really useful. As for the texture, I felt like the inside was definitely rougher than the older version, not by a ton, but definitely noticeable. And as for the durability, I had the same issue with these as I did with the Naty diapers, and that was the fact that the seam right here on the leg would rip open and we would have chunks of diaper all over the floor. And as if I would buy the newer version again, I would not. If you're going to buy a Bambo Nature, I would stick with the old version. And then lastly, we have the Aiden Anais diaper. Now this is just a print that I chose. They do have other prints available. I didn't really see any kind of like plain white or anything, but I'm sure you can find a gender neutral option. I really wasn't shopping around for that, but that is what the diaper looks like. As for price, it costs $25 for a box. It's between 28 cents and 52 cents for a diaper. As for availability, these are really new. Like I think they just got launched within a couple months of this review, so they are not in a lot of stores right now, if any at all. I haven't seen them, but they are on Amazon, they are on their website. As for the absorbencies, I felt like these were really good. I think that they're pretty thick on the inside, and I didn't have any issue whatsoever with leaking. As for the texture, these are pretty soft. I would say right around the Parasol kind of softness, pretty good, but not the softest that I've tried. And as for materials used, they are chlorine, latex, dye, and lotion and perfume free, and they have a wood pulp for absorbency. And as for eco benefits, they do plant a tree for every package that is bought. They also obviously do have the naturally derived ingredients. And as for fit, I found that they were pretty good. The diaper tabs and security, no problems. And as for the durability, again, I had the issue with the seam. Really wanted to love these diapers, but again, just right here, it started ripping and I had chunks of diaper again all over my floor. And I also want to mention, if I left this on Remy overnight, when I would wake up, because that's normally when she soaks the diaper, the colors would be bleeding inside the diaper. It never like got on her clothes or anything, but I found that a little weird. I don't really know, but I did want to mention it because it was a little odd to me. And would I buy these again? Probably not. There's a few things that I want to mention before I move on to my recommendations, and I think that the times that I had the issue with the core of the diaper ripping away from itself and all that kind of thing, I think it's just because it wasn't thick enough. You know, with the 7th generation, a couple other times, that's just what I thought. It was just thinner than other ones, and when the core would be thicker, I never had that problem with it ripping apart or it bunching up or it being weird. So I think if the companies made the core a little bit thicker, they wouldn't have that issue. And as for the durability and even just like the seams and maybe even the core, you know, things might not hold up as well as other diapers or other regular brands, is because a lot of these are trying to be as eco-friendly as possible. So I feel like the trade-off for being more biodegradable and in the long run more eco-friendly might mean like less durability out of your diaper, which I kind of understand, but at the same time, I can't afford to change diapers every 30 minutes to keep it from happening, and I need the diapers to work when a kid finally does pee in it. So I don't know, I would kind of hope that maybe the diaper companies could address that and just kind of fix it. I'm not really sure what they could do with like the side seams ripping. I'm not really sure what that's about. I don't know if it's like the piece of material that's laying over the liner, if maybe that's just too thin or something. I'm not sure. Or it could just be the fact that a lot of these ingredients are naturally derived. They're not supposed to hold up long term, but I do need them to last long enough for my kid to use the diaper. I also felt like a lot of companies felt like they either needed to have a super soft and flexible diaper, or they were really like thick and kind of stiff. And I felt like the Pandy diaper was a great example of how you don't have to sacrifice one for the other. The Pandy, sorry, I have like a huge just heaping pile of diapers over here. Yes, this is it. As you can see, the Pandy is a thick diaper, but at the same time, it is super, super soft. So I feel like a lesson could be learned from them. You can have a thick, nice diaper and it can be soft. You don't have to give up one for the other. So that just leads me into my final recommendations. And if you are looking for a budget-friendly option, I would go with Earth's Best. That's what we started off with when we were using eco-friendly diapers, and I really love them. I didn't have a bad experience. The only thing that's difficult about them is just finding them. So as long as you can stay on top of that, you're golden. Now, if softness is your number one concern, I would definitely go with the Pandy. I think they're a great diaper, and like I said, they're the softest out of all that I tried. If being eco-friendly is your biggest concern, I would say the Naty diaper. You're just going to have to change those a lot more frequently. Again, I didn't have any problems with leaking or anything. It was just that side seam. So you might have to change diapers a lot more frequently than what other people would do, but with it being non-GMO, they're so naturally derived, and I think their diaper out of all these is the most biodegradable. And I also want to mention that they had a ton of different certifications, and it just sounds like their diaper and their motto is like to do best by the planet while serving children and their diapering needs. So I would definitely recommend that if you're trying to be mostly eco-conscious. So that leads me to my top 3 recommendation, and number 3 is going to be Bambo Nature, the old version. Number 2 is Pandy, and number 1 is Honest Company. And I will say that Honest Company is the diaper that I'm choosing to stick with and what we are going to use from at least here on out until maybe I try a different brand. And I will explain. I do love the Bambo Nature, the old version. I think it is a great diaper, great option. However, it is more on the expensive side. And also, I don't know if they're going to be phasing this out since they have a newer version. Right now, it's still available on Amazon, but I don't know how much longer it's going to last, and that's why it's in number 3. As for the Pandy, the reason why I don't use these exclusively, because I do love these, I think they're an awesome diaper, it's just because they don't always have the size that I need. You know, sometimes it's out of stock and whatever, and you know, I would use this if it was constantly available, but they also are a smaller company. If I remember correctly, it's ran by moms. I think it was founded by moms, and I can understand that, but just for the sake of I always need diapers and I like to have them regularly and just subscribe to, that's the reason why I haven't stuck with these. So that brings me to my top pick, which is the Honest Company. The reason why I'm sticking with these is because I can always find them. If for some reason I can't get them on Amazon, which we are subscribed to, so they just come regularly, I don't think I've ever had a problem where they're out of stock. But if they are for whatever reason, or if I need diapers sooner than what Amazon can deliver, I can run out to a Target and get them, so they're not out of reach. Also, just they're made of great things. They're like a balance of eco-friendly and budget-friendly for me. I definitely like getting the bigger box off of Amazon. You get a little bit more for your dollar than picking up those $25 boxes at Target. Those don't really last a whole month for us, but again, it's just like a nice comfortable in between. Everybody who's looking at these diapers are going to want different things. Me, I wanted something I could afford but also was eco-friendly and had great ingredients, but it was also easy to find because I am pretty forgetful, or I noticed that we've gone through diapers sooner than what we're scheduled to receive them on Amazon. All of that combined leads me to why I chose the Honest Company. But Again, I did mention ones I wouldn't buy and that I would buy, so I hope that this was helpful. Like I said, it did take me a while, and I do plan on doing a part 2 because I know there's a lot of brands that I missed. So leave a comment down below for the different brands you would like me to try in the next one. Again, it's gonna probably take me a while to get to them because it is a lot of time and effort that I put into this review, but I hope you guys enjoy the video, and as always, thanks for watching.